My journey began here on the quiet edges of the river. This is where I careened the boat to prepare for my journey to Dakar. Dolphins came by to say au revoir. It was already challenging at the mouth of the river when it meets the Atlantic Ocean. Current and tide are stirring up waves here. I was sailing with what I had, a used adapted mainsail and a small storm sail, a humble replacement for my large Genoa, which had torn apart sailing here from Cabo Verde. But Galopin and I were ready. The passage is marked by red and green buoys several miles out, threading a narrow line through the dangerous shallows. I could see the waves crashing way out at sea. I followed the channel marked by the buoys and kept thinking to myself, all right, 2 more. And then again, another 2 more. 3 more. 1 more. Jeez.
All these buoys here are really close together.
On either side, imposing waves were breaking, and the current was still strong, which affects the waves. One wrong move, one hit from a breaking wave, and Galopin could capsize. I mean, look at that. It took several miles to reach deeper water, where the waves finally settled. Only then did the depth sounded reveal the danger. 5 to 8 meters deep. We were way far offshore, the land barely a silhouette on the horizon, yet the ocean floor was still dangerously shallow. This is why the swells build and break with such force.
Whoa, man. Amazing.
And then this crab showed up. What the hell? Is this waste from a fishing ship? Whale poop? Nah, it can't be.
Somebody dumped a bunch of fish waste or something. Smells like anchovies. What the fuck?
Did I say that it smells too? Tragic.
Well, I've turned off Simone for a little bit. Got a bit of wind. Galopin's doing all right with this new sail that's not quite fitting right, but not bad. And the little storm sail. We're doing like 5 knots, and I would say there's about 10 knots of wind. Give Simone a little rest for a while and turn it back on, because I think at night the wind's going to drop. So, not bad, Galopin. Good job.
As we moved into the open ocean, we entered a maze of fishing buoys floating freely. These are silent hazards. If one gets caught in the propeller, twisted around the shaft, the engine stops dead. Now here, fixing that means diving into the open ocean to cut Galopin free. A risky endeavor in any sea state. And the fishermen were everywhere. It's hard to tell their intent from a distance. Are they stationary, line fishing? Are they moving further out, or have they strung a net between a buoy and their boats? Anyways, strangely enough, the wind from the southwest was steady, rare for this time of year. With the mainsail and the little storm sail up, plus the motor for assistance, Galopin found his rhythm. Without the big Genoa, we couldn't harness full power, but surprisingly, we were cruising at 5 knots. That's with no engine, because I turned it off. For 6 hours, it was pure sailing pleasure. No engine noise, no worry of tangling the propeller in the fishing line, just the wind, the waves, and the boat gliding forward. And then the sun began to set. Darkness changes everything out here. You can see the lights of other boats, but the floating buoys, they vanish. And judging distances becomes a guess. As the wind died and shifted from the north again, the motor came back on. approaching the Gambian coast, lights appeared on the horizon. But were they ships, fishermen, or land itself? Below the hull, the water began to glow blue, bioluminescent organisms lighting up the dark sea. It's spellbinding. Cameras can barely capture it. Then suddenly, a green laser beam blinded me. It tagged the sails, dancing across the canvas. It was a fisherman telling me to move. He had strung a net between his boat and another, invisible in the dark. Then more lights, 6 bright spotlights fixed right on me. I steered cleared again. The lights strobed. Was it a warning and an acknowledgement? They followed me, flashing rhythmically. My mind raced. Coast Guard? I killed the engine, slowing Galopin, but they trailed off and disappeared into the night. Nights like this are long, but eventually the sun began to warm my chilled body, and I turned on the music to keep me alert and awake, keeping a vigilant eye for fishermen.
So you had one of those days when the world don't give you no grace. You'd rather fly away and keep on going higher, but they keep dragging you down. Now if you wish to spread those wings and fly, you gotta turn it around. Don't look over your shoulder. Don't ever look back. No use for second opinions. Don't wanna stay in the past. Just keep on going, 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 going. Go for the top. You keep on rolling, 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 and don't ever stop.
We're almost there, as you can see. It's cold here. It's a little ominous, man. It looks like there's this sandstorm coming down here. It said that it would be windy all of a sudden at the end of the day. And yeah, so the forecast was pretty good. I'm pretty happy with what I did today on this trip. I did everything that I thought about doing. I took in a reef in the middle of the night. I dodged a bunch of fishermen all night long. Pretty tricky. And I think I had the authorities come after me for a while. They were flashing their lights or something. And then they gave up. I was just like, oh, I don't know. Anyways, it was a fairly eventful, but yeah, very boring, very long night. Really tired. I took little 20-minute breaks and would lay down and sleep and had the alarm wake me up and then check on things whenever it seemed clear for a good, half a mile or so. And then I took all my sails down when I saw a little bit of wind pick up and it was change directions. Pretty much what I thought would happen, or pretty much what the forecast said would be. And man, I'm really glad now, because I wouldn't want to mess with my sails when it's windier, because it may get up to like 20 knots or something, just as I get in. So I'm really pleased with all my sailing decisions on this trip. We're almost there. Can't say we're there until we're there. And I've dropped anchor and I'm safe. And I can relax and sleep, man. I slept maybe 2 hours last night. Oh man. All right, almost there.
In sailing, hesitation is dangerous. When you think about doing something, you do it. Listening to that instinct was the right call, and I could enjoy the last few hours. sunset, we were about an hour away. This is the final gauntlet. This may have been the Coast Guard boat that I saw last night. Patrols are current because now drug traffic is routed through here. Finally, I saw them. The mass of the sailboats. CVD, my destination. I'm almost there. It had been a great trip. All that was left was to drop anchor, unless my mooring was free. I approached the spot, heart in my throat, and then...
I'm so tired, but mission accomplished. We did it. We're here, and even grabbed the same old mooring that I had last time I was here. It was free. Oh, gotta love to have friends, and gotta love to know people and places and make friends. Right, I'm gonna just shower, eat, and crash out.
Hello, welcome to Galopin. These are our studios, man. This is where the magic happens. It's humble, but it gets the job done. It's because of the great people like you on Patreon who make this happen. This Living Adventure series. I hope you'll join our community. We've got some extra perks like live updates, news, photos, videos, and I've even taken a stab at writing some short stories which are not for general audiences on YouTube. And our friend Graham from Australia set up a WhatsApp chat to aptly called Galopin's Cockpit. Guys from all over have joined, and it's this community that's contributing to the continuation of this Living Adventure series. If not, you can always watch us for free on YouTube. Make sure to give us a like or a dislike, make a comment, make your opinion heard. I'll try to get back to you. Thanks for watching this episode of Winded Voyage, a real Living Adventure series. It's not fake, baby.